All right, guys, we're talking Dracula 2026. I'm going to share my thoughts on this, okay? Let's talk about the critic score. Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 57%, and they have a user score of 75%. So the users are liking it more than the critics. I'll get into my thoughts and how I felt about this, okay? I'm going to be honest right off the bat. I drove a wooden stake through my heart so you guys didn't have to. I did not enjoy this film, and I'm going to explain why. Let's first go over the cast. Stars Caleb Laundry Jones as Dracula. Then we got Zoe Seidel as Mina slash Elizabeta. So it's a dual role right there. And Christoph Waltz is Priest, but it's like a Van Helsing role, I would say, slash Priest. They title him as Priest. Even when you look up the cast, there is no name. There's no first name ever said to him, let alone a last name. We're going to get into it. So Waltz, he's a legend. He does good acting in this, but there's a lot of scenes that feel flat with me. There's times where he shares the screen with Caleb Laundry Jones, which is Dracula. So when you get the Priest and Dracula together, the acting's great. They feed off each other. It's good. And Caleb Laundry Jones is a good Dracula. I mean, I first seen that guy back in 2010 in Last Exorcism, and I thought he was a sinister kid in that movie. And it's nice to see how he's developed into a big lead epic role here, but the problem is this doesn't feel as epic and cinematic as Dracula should be or what they're going for. And we're going to explain why. So at the end of this, I'll go over spoilers, but I'll make sure to give a warning prior to going into that, okay? So spoiler free, the beginning was fun. It has me hooked, not edge of my seat hooked, but had me invested, but quickly lost me. And it feels like, here's the problem. If you're familiar with 1992 Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, this movie attempts to rip that off in just a B-movie campy fashion. They had humor, they focus only on the romance, they don't really have any horror, nothing at all. I mean, there's CGI characters that are I don't want to spoil what the character is, we'll talk about it later in the video, but CGI characters are what run around the castle and help out Dracula. Dracula has some humor when he speaks. There's certain lines that he's, trying to be lighthearted or funny. There's certain stuff he does and how he can manipulate women to fall in love with him that are just very corny and I don't know, it comes off more like it just should have went straight to streaming, honestly. I don't think this deserved a theatrical release. We got movies like Frankenstein that didn't even get a theatrical wide release that should have. And then you get this, and this should have been the one that went to streaming. If we're talking about MonsterVerse movies, Frankenstein should have made it, to a wide release, and this should have went right to streaming. They should switch roles in this. But yeah, I mean, they copy Coppola's design of costumes, cinematography, storytelling, everything, and then they change stuff. It's goofy, right? I really want to get into it with the spoilers with you on that. Let's keep it spoiler free for now. Caleb is a good Drac. Christoph Waltz has a flat but solid performance at times. There's a lot of funky moments that just feel off-putting. I do not recommend going to see this movie. Stay away from it. I would not rent it. I would not buy it, and nor would I even go back to the theater or attempt to tell anybody to go to the theater to see this. And I hate to bash that hard on a film, but if you're a huge Drac fan, check it out. If this is your thing, you're obsessed with Dracula, sure, but still, man, I'm telling you, just wait till it's streaming for free or at most rent it. At most. It's not even a guilty pleasure. For me, Dracula Untold, guilty pleasure. It's not a really good film, but it's a guilty pleasure Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula, 92. Cinematic, it's an epic. That's the pinnacle when it comes to Dracula films. Nosferatu you could throw into the mix, that's good too. This does not hold a candle to any of those. It's really poorly done, and it's a shame because we have a good cast here, and it's wasted potential. We're gonna get into the spoilers now, okay? Listen, how he gets his perfume, or how he gets women to fall in love with him is perfume. It shows a montage of him going, and this is Dracula we're talking about, going around and hand-picking certain flowers and essence and debating them with people. Does this smell good? Oh, let's get this one. I went to this country to get this. I did that. And that perfume makes people fall for me. Dude, he had nuns, civilians, whoever you were. If you're a female, you just dab it up. And next minute you know, you could do anything for him. Handstands, freaking, you'd bow down. Anything you want, you'd flock to him. And there's even a dance sequence to where he goes to a party, puts the perfume on, and you get a humorous comedy style. I don't know how else to put it other than it's very light-hearted and silly, very campy, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a lot of that in this to where we're getting B-movie campiness, and I'm Do they want to be a cinematic epic, or do they want to just be a more campy Drac? I don't know what's going on. They have certain lines they're making him say to be funny. There's almost like an Austin Powers moment earlier in the film when Dracula's describing how he was obsessed with the love of his life and how he would do anything to get her back, and he couldn't die, and, you know, Elizabeth of this, Elizabeth of that, right? So he keeps jumping out of a window to try to kill himself, and they show it. And there's a way you could show that. You know, you need a good cinematic score and the way the cinematography could be, but they don't do it at all. They're just literally showing it almost in a comedic sense to where there's the window, he jumps out, he jumps out, he jumps out. And they showed it like at least 6 times. He's walking back up the stairs all freaking crippled. Next time he's dragging his ankle, he's got leaves on him and cut up face. It's like, you're just like sitting there. Like, I started to chuckle out loud. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, it just doesn't land at all. He's a whiny Drac. He really is. And his hair, I'm gonna pull it up right now for you guys. His hair is out of control. All right. So we got Bram Stoker, Gary Oldman Drac, and then we got our new Drac right here. I'm telling you, it's a complete ripoff. Complete ripoff. The skin's cool on it, like I said, but why are we copying the hair? And that isn't just the only thing they copy. I mean, the full dinner scene, everything is like way too identical here, way too much of a ripoff, and in a corny sense, rips it off completely. So, and that's not the only thing. So like I said, the perfume, they're ripping off the hair, the set, the makeup, the scenes. It's just like a cheesy version that is half-assed based on Coppola's design of Dracula. That's really the best way to put it. There's an instance they're walking around the fair playing fair games, and I just thought that was out of place and funky. And the biggest thing that ruins this film, which even if you like this film, I'm sure you could agree with me on this, CGI gargoyle kids, babies. They were half-size gargoyles, so I don't know, they were like maybe 8-year-olds dressed up as gargoyles, but full-blown CGI instead, and it gives off super B-movie vibes. And they're not just in one scene. Like, it's not like they like do a quick thing and it's just, oh, okay, well, that was a cheesy CGI. No, they're heavily prominent. They're his castle handsmaids, and they do everything for him around the castle. There's guards. They're kind of like a dual role of everything. And they even fight at the end. So like you see him in the beginning, like just kind of like helping him and his little deeds that he wants done. And then at the end of the film, when he's getting invaded and we got Christoph Waltz has like an army coming for him, and there's cannons firing, and they're attacking the castle to go get Drac and try to save Mina. The gargoyles are the only thing fending off and defending Drac while he's upstairs with Mina. And it is, dude, I'm telling you guys, there is this whack scene. If you watch any WWF as a kid or WWE, you know Rey Mysterio, when he jumps up to set up for the 619 and he jumps up on the top of someone's shoulders, wraps his leg around and like does a backflip. I think it's called like a head scissor takedown, when he just like flips them so that they go in between the ropes so he can conduct the 619. That literally happens. A gargoyle jumps up on top of one of the guards' heads, does a backflip, pushes the guy's head. Instead of setting up the 619, the guy just goes into a wall. But it's like a full brawl fest. And it was so campy and so corny. There's no way I could recommend this film to anyone. I mean, I don't even know if I'd say, hey, if it's streaming, check it out. No, if you want classic, epic, watch 92's Bram Stoker Dracula. If you want a guilty pleasure, watch like Dracula Untold, or there's many other interpretations. If you want something very gothic romance, watch last year's Nosferatu. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, this just didn't land well for me at all. The acting was off. Everything just kind of was very flat and campy and corny and straight to DVD vibes. It tried to be something it's not, and it tried to rip off the 92, and it falls right on its face completely. Don't recommend it. Hopefully we get another good movie next week that I could review for you guys. So stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.